The little girl in the bright pink dress, holding the hand of a man much bigger than her. To a casual observer, she might have looked like a daughter, shopping with her father. But to those who looked a little closer, to those who noticed her eyes, there was something unsettling. Her gaze wasn't curious or playful, like other children's. It was fixed, guarded, and quietly desperate, as if she was silently screaming for someone to see her, without making a sound. The moment that would change everything happened. In the serial Hazel, Officer Daniel Hayes, a veteran cop with 15 years on the force, had been off duty, but stopped by the store to grab groceries for his own kids. He strolled down the aisle, scanning the shelves for the cereal his daughter loved, when movement caught his eye. A small hand lifting in a way that didn't match the playful wave of a child. Her palm was open, fingers slightly tucked, and she held it in front of her chest. The universal sign for help. Daniel froze for a split second, his training and instinct colliding. In his mind, he looked again, pretending to examine the cereal boxes. But his focus was on the man. Tall, late 30s, with a baseball cap pulled low, and a thick jacket. Despite the warm weather, Daniel's eyes narrowed. He noticed the subtle grip the man had on the girl's wrist. Not gentle. The girl winced as he tugged her toward the exit. Daniel's pulse quickened. He slid his phone from his pocket, dialing dispatch in a calm, low voice. "This is Officer Hayes. Badge 4537. Off duty at Willow Creek Market. Possible child abduction in progress." Dispatch acknowledged within seconds. His instincts sharpened. The store suddenly felt smaller, tighter, like the walls themselves were closing in. He began to move, following at a distance, weaving through the aisles, careful not to spook the suspect. As he passed a display of canned soup, his reflection in the metal surface showed calm determination. The man reached the self-checkout. Daniel watched him fumble with a bag. The girl stayed still, silent, her eyes flicking once toward Daniel. Almost imperceptibly, he gave a barely visible nod. "Stay calm." Two uniformed officers entered from the main door, one of them spotting Daniel instantly. With a subtle hand signal, they began to close in from both sides. Timing had to be perfect. The man suddenly turned, scanning the area, suspicion flashing across his face. Daniel acted fast, stepping forward. "Hey, excuse me. You dropped something." His voice steady but authoritative. The man froze. The girl looked up wide-eyed. Daniel stepped closer, maintaining eye contact with the suspect. Hands open, non-threatening but ready. In a heartbeat, the man shoved the girl aside and bolted toward the exit. Daniel lunged forward, tackling him to the ground. The two struggled. The sound of chaos erupted around them. Groceries scattering, people shouting. Daniel pinned the man down, handcuffing him with practiced precision. The girl sobbed nearby, as one of the arriving officers wrapped a blanket around her. The suspect cursed, thrashing on the floor. Daniel stood, catching his breath, adrenaline still coursing through his veins. Outside, the warning lights of patrol cars painted the windows red and blue. The parking lot had become a scene of controlled chaos. Reporters already gathering behind the police tape. Daniel walked out of the store. His shirt slightly torn. Sweat glistening under the setting sun. He looked at the girl. Now safe. Sitting in the back of an ambulance. Clutching a small teddy bear. Someone had given her. Their eyes met. She mouthed 2 words. "Thank you." And in that moment, the noise of the world seemed to fade, replaced by a quiet relief that cut through everything else. Later that evening, Daniel sat alone in his car. The city lights flickering across his windshield. He thought about his own daughter, about how easily a normal day could turn into something unimaginable. The radio crackled with updates about the arrest, but Daniel barely heard it. His focus on the faint echo of that small voice that had silently asked for help. As he started the engine and drove away, the night air felt cooler, the streets quieter. Somewhere in the distance, a child laughed, and Daniel smiled faintly, knowing that for once, he had been exactly where he needed to be.